We good?
We good?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to SideTrack. And I'm so sorry that we got that part. I thought there was going to be
It's
zero, but I
okay.
was wrong. I was so wrong. So either way, welcome
Now
to
we go on zero.
SideTrack. We did. I just fucked it up. Either way,
We're falling apart without Nick here.
welcome to SideTrack. Nick is not here today, so allow me to give the official introduction in his stead, even though I've already fucked it up. Welcome to SideTrack, where the Twitch show where we stream whatever, and it will probably suck. Today, Fiona and I are here to do Quest Jam, where through our combined efforts, we actually make a D&D one-shot. So, for introductions, my name's Tanner Bivens, and I am the host of the show Crit or Miss and a content streamer for Project Derailed. Pass it over to Fiona.
I am Fiona L.F. Kelly. I write things for Project Derailed and other websites on the internet. The most popular thing's probably the Critical Role recaps. I do those, and Nick does the art for them. And we are both in robes because we decided to do Quest Jam Bedroom Edition because we both have like half of an understanding of what we're supposed to be doing. So we're like, let's put on robes, and yeah, it's gonna be fun.
The first time that we actually that we did this, it was Tom and Nick, and I think it was saying that you and I should do ours too. And well, here we are, and
yeah,
we got this far and already fucked up.
Yep.
And by that I fucked up.
Fine.
You did fine.
We're good. It's fine. We got this.
So either way,
okay.
Let's make a one shot.
Yeah. So the concept of the show, which Tanner talked about earlier, is that we each, so Nick and Tom had they did it in a really cool way where they had one of the blind boxes for minis, and they pulled out a mini and made a one shot based around what minis were in the box. We did not buy a box. So we each came up with what we thought would be fun, weird, adventure hooks. And Tom gave me one as well. So I have two here. And we're going to try to write a one-shot around those. Tanner, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing I thought of... Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So whenever we first brought up that we're doing Quest Jam and, we were going to make a one-shot, the first thing I thought of was... for whatever reason, a story I heard about leaping wizards. And so the wheels started turning in my head, and I said, okay, good plot hook for adventurers to go onto is actually a virus or something that is causing all magic users, wizards, sorcerers, and whatnot, to uncontrollably start leaping everywhere that they go, just skipping down the road. They cannot control it, and... it has caused so much problems with this particular magic university, because now their entire student populace and professors are literally just skipping everywhere, unable to actually do magic.
This was weirdly themed. We accidentally themed this. So I will give Tom's first. Tom's was very general. Tom wanted us to incorporate an airship.
Okay.
And I thought it would be really fun if there was a part where they needed to herd flumps. Flumphs, it's hard to say. But they're those little, blobfish, jellyfish guys. And they fly around and they have tentacles and they're in the Underdark. So I thought that they could herd some of those.
Yeah, like these?
I cannot see, but I am sure that you are correct.
Yes.
I have to keep my screen a certain way. But yeah, it's probably what I'm talking about, yeah.
Okay, this is great. I love it. So
yeah,
airship,
and they change colors with emotions. They're great. Yeah, so an airship, leaping wizards, and the herding some rogue flumphs.
Herding rogue flumphs. All right, so we have ourselves a good start here. So why don't we start trying to at least connect the dots now, since we have 3 concepts.
Okay.
So
I suppose I should be typing these. I'm sorry if my camera is moving every time I type. So we have leaping wizards.
Yep.
Okay. So you had mentioned like a magical college of some sort where all the wizards like couldn't get their lives together because they're just leaping. Okay.
This disease happens and they start like skipping and leaping around and whatnot, and they're like, they can't sleep, they can't rest. They're right now just sad and like skipping everywhere, like they can't do magic.
Okay. Also, full disclosure for anyone watching out there, I have never written a one-shot, so this is like a new experience for me. Okay. So Flumphs, I think, are from the Underdark. So we'll need to get them at some point either to the Underdark or some. Well, I guess they don't necessarily need to go to the Underdark if these Flumphs are just loose.
I was about to say, well, what could be is maybe at this university, they happen to have like a connection to the Underdark and they're studying the Underdark. And during this time, like the Flumphs that they were studying escaped and are now all over the university. Maybe in like dark areas of the university, just kind of flopping around.
Okay. I like it. And then we need to incorporate an airship somehow.
I actually had like 2 ideas for that.
Okay.
So the first one, and we can go with either one or we can go with neither, but the first one I thought of is that that's like you have to get to the college through an airship. So you have to fly there, or maybe, okay, now I have 3 that the adventurers actually have the airship, or the university is an airship.
Oh, I like that last one.
See, that's what I'm thinking, like maybe even make it sort of steampunk inspired, where like it's floating in the sky, it's like a gigantic blimp with like gears, working in succinct rhythm to keep it up with like Magitech as well.
Okay. I actually really like that the university is an airship, and that almost kind of gives it like a video game type of feel, especially if like at one point the Flumphs do get loose and they have to like steer the airship while also trying to like herd these Flumphs. I think that has a lot of potential.
Already, okay, I just had an idea for an NPC then.
Okay.
The NPC is the pilot that's actually flying the airship and has like quarantined himself in the cockpit because he can't get the disease or else the ship's literally going to crash. And can like communicate with the PCs like via like an intercom or something, like a gramophone like intercom.
Everyone's gonna see how bad I am at spelling. Yeah, I like that. So they have to. So that's almost like starting it out with an encounter. Like they have to get to this airship somehow, and then once they do, they almost have to like get through these leaping wizards. Like, do you think that the leaping wizards would be like hostile, or just that is the magic that they are leaping and skipping? And
my picture would be that like they would still be cognizant, but at this point now they're like so tired and so like just dead because they can't stop leaping, but they can't sleep, that it's just kind of like turns into like kind of groans like help us. We haven't slept in days.
Mm-hmm.
We can only eat like if we are able to like happily like jump to the kitchen and grab something to stay alive. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
that they're all leaping, but it's actually really morbid once you start like talking to them. Has like a dark humor to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to tie in like maybe the flumps have something to do with it? Because I know that it says on here in the monster manual that flumps kind of like drift along in the Underdark, like propelled through
Mm-hmm.
air. So maybe like it might have been like a disease that they accidentally gave them.
Okay. So diseased flumps. Maybe like some sort of almost like parasite that doesn't seem to affect the flumps because they just like float around, but then once it comes in contact with species that don't do that, it makes them just leap all the time.
Exactly.
And then because they're leaping, they can't take care of the flumps, and the flumps all get loose, and it's just chaos.
Exactly. Like I'm loving it. Or maybe like the parasite isn't even that big a deal, but because they've been experimenting on them, like they did something it up to like 100.
Create like a super parasite.
Exactly.
Has science gone too far?
Whenever everybody just starts leaping.
All right. So, do you want to start? It sounds like we have a pretty good idea of like kind of what the story is. Like that was a lot easier than I thought it would be to just like incorporate all these things together.
Mm-hmm. Could you repeat that last bit, because for whatever reason my computer pulled up an ad and like all sound got cut out. I apologize.
I said, shoot. I think I said something like this is easier than I thought it would to pull all these together. Just like not knowing what you had picked or what Tom had picked or anything. And Tom in the chat is saying that we are doing a Trouble with Tribbles type of thing, which I am all about personally. So there's got to be a scene where one of the adventurers, opens up like a panel in the ceiling and all the flumps fall onto him.
Oh my god, that'd be great. Like you could even drop like a hint to the players, like, oh, there's various cabins that look like they could contain something serious or, something like valuable.
Yeah.
It falls on them.
The Fury of Flumps or something. I don't know. We'll workshop the name.
I pulled up a thesaurus to see if I got like.
Ooh. What's a good like trouble word that starts with an F? Flump fail from the chat, or flump fall from the chat that's a good one. I like that a lot.
I'm loving it. Let's go with that.
Flump fall. Okay.
Oh my god. What? Oh my god. I am sorry. Like for whatever reason, I tried to pull up like Twitch just to see the chat, and then sure enough, like this ad will not go away. Fuck it. Here we are.
Oh no.
I will have to, relate for you all for the chat things. I also love the fact that Flumpfall is like a play on Skyfall from like James Bond.
Oh, it is. I didn't even think of that. That's good. I just keep thinking in my head like the TLC, don't go chasing Flumpfalls. That's where I went with it.
That band be like WeLC, and it'll be like, I don't know, just the white version where like we're just
is this like weird D&D themed TLC cover. So I like it.
I guarantee you no one's doing it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the adventure. We had a little sidetrack there, but that's the name of the show, so we gotta do them. So how does it start out, do you think? Because they have to get to the airship somehow.
It's a good.
So, like, what's the hook for them?
Let's see here. I don't want to go with like the bar, like the bartender says that something weird's happening at the college.
Right.
That's a little too easy.
I almost like that the airship, almost like they're adventuring and the airship like is kind of like going in front of them, like almost onto the road, and the pilot's like, "Come with me, please help us. You look like capable adventurers." But I don't know if that would be like too dramatic. Okay, let's go with the for now. We can change it later. And Perdicious MC, I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, suggested Airship Captain Raoul Mallory.
I could totes take that. I like Airship Captain Raoul Mallory.
I like that too.
Going and being like, please help us. I'm quarantined in the in the cabin. All of our wizards like at the college are now like leaping and they can't stop, and we need to like round up the Flumphs. To which the adventurers will say, "What the fuck is going on?"
I got closer with my spelling of quarantine that time. Quarantine in the cabin of Airship College. Seized.
Right now I'm like my own little notebook, like drawing like an airship, which just pretty much looks like a blimp wiener.
Oh, apparently the captain name is reference to Skyfall, which I have never seen. It's the character's name Raul Silva and Gareth Mallory. I dig it.
I just got that. I haven't seen Skyfall in a while.
I did not. I have never seen it. I have seen one James Bond film. I saw the very first one with Daniel Craig, and that's all I saw.
I saw a handful. I kind of like stopped following after GoldenEye, but every now and again, like Skyfall at least caught my attention. So I watched that one. Do we want to have like a main villain at the end or anything, or do we just want like? Because I feel like we still need a fight of some kind, and these Flumphs are like,
yeah,
it's like polite. They even say in the book here they're lawful neutral, so like they're not really evil or anything.
Yeah, they're just kind of like delightful little balls of flob. It could be like we could do it like kind of Mass Effect, where the parasite like almost gets sentient and is able to like possess someone. Maybe, I don't know.
Ooh,
and they have to deal. They have to deal with the most powerful wizard. They have to deal with the with like the archmage of the wizard college, but they can't kill him. They just have to like knock him out or something. So they have to be careful with what they do. And he can fly because, of course, the parasite wants him to like leap and fly. And
so, like, what kind of adventure is this going to be? It's going to be opening level, a bit higher level, because that's where we're going to have to get to like how high this archmage is. Excuse me.
That is a great question. I have no sense of how hard this is going to be.
I'm gonna pull open the handbook and like look through a couple of like the wizard spell list and see what would be like fun and challenging.
Yeah, what level is like fly? Because I figured that fly would be an important part of that. And fly is really hard. If you have a wizard who knows fly and they're just kind of like
Yeah, I was feeling like
messing your shit up on you, especially if you're trying to not kill like outright.
Let's see here. Here we go. Fly is at 3rd level. Fireball's at 3rd level. So
start casting some fireballs on everyone.
Let's chuck ourselves back to wizard over here. Warlock. I'm close. Here we go. 3-level spells. Okay, let's say that they're 7th level. I would say that a group of like 4th, 5th level adventurers could take this dude.
Okay.
The 7th gives him 3 3rd level spells and 1 4th level, so he could have 1 big fuck off spell.
Nice.
I feel like now I'm starting to like create the enemy, and we could even.
Okay. So like once they get on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I'm kind of like we got some more messages from the chat. Like the villains are the wizards themselves, cursed by the captain to draw help on board, as the wizards were experimenting on flumps with dangerous magic. And like I'm definitely liking aspects of that, like especially that like the captain, like these flumps are adorable, sweet, lawful good creatures.
Yeah.
So maybe like the captain is like
they can just they seem like they can just soak whatever weird spell you use on them. And who cares if we lose a flump? Flumps are the lab rats of this wizard college, basically. I do like that.
And like the captain is like, listen, these wizards are like, basically committing animal cruelty.
Yeah. So like, they gotta keep it on the DL, or else the flumps rights groups are gonna get all over their case.
So for a 4th level spell, do we want to like? I'm trying to think here now. Is like, do we want to go like ultimate attack or ultimate defense? Because I'm seeing like wall of fire, greater invisibility, like.
I think that this virus, well, if we do like the parasite or virus type of thing, to me it would go mostly on the offensive if I have an elementary knowledge of how viruses and parasites work. So I think like there'd be some defensive spells, but I think it would mostly be offensive, trying to weaken what's there. So trying to, yeah.
Like, because there's shit like banishment and stuff in here. So the idea being that the virus is sentient enough to
I don't think it would want to use banish. I think it would want to wear them down, but like wear them down enough to like affect them. So maybe even stuff that would like temporarily lower like your con saves or your intelligence saves, something like feeble mind, so that it could like kind of take over. Yeah. I think that it would have spells like that, especially too because
go ahead.
I feel like I was just gonna say, I feel like in the sense of like a larger campaign or a one shot, this would definitely be like a goofy type of thing. So I'm not sure we would, actually want some character death in this.
Oh no!
But yeah.
What I was saying there was that banishment's on here, but I was thinking of like reasons why, like whenever the players look up and it's like, oh, this is 7th level. Why didn't this thing banish us? Flavor tells me that this virus at least has taken over the wizard enough to know what's going on, but not enough to like really use spells like that. Like it's going offense with like a little bit of defense, but nothing to anything that would actually like wipe out a character.
Yeah, and I think that that's kind of what's the interesting part about this adventure is the point is not to like kill anyone. It's not to kill the Flumphs, it's not to kill, the Archmage or the Pilot or the other wizards or even the characters. It's to like weaken everyone enough so that you can kind of like impose your will on them or like, reset them back to normal, like, buff them or weaken.
The perfect one, third level is Bestow Curse, and the curse could be the virus. And so suddenly, magic party, it starts leaping.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a lot. That'd be really cool. Just like for some reason, I'm imagining like Vox Machina on this like one-off, and I'm just imagining Grog like leaping back and forth.
Exactly. Like I'm loving it already. I'm just picturing, especially like either like a powerful wizard or Grog just going around leaping like, guys, help me.
Yeah. Like stop laughing.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be more of the comedic one, but still, I like comedic ones. Like you always need like one comedic to like offset all of the serious.
Very serious. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm getting the spell layout too. What do you have over there right now?
So right now, I was just writing a list of our NPCs. So it seems like who they're going to be really talking to is the Pilot. And it also seems like they could, mostly communicate with him by casting message or something like that. Mm-hmm. Then we have the Archmage, who's 7th level wizard, who, spams fly and tries to weaken, but not kill PCs. Wants to bestow parasitic whatever. And then we have the Flumphs, of which there are numerous. And then we have the other wizards who are, infected various character levels. I suppose there's probably be a way too for them to figure out. I feel like it should be a little bit harder for them to figure out without facing the Archmage how this thing works. But I wouldn't be totally opposed to them figuring it out and then being able to like uninfect some wizards.
Right.
But yeah, to like help them. But I mean, if the Archmage is only 7th level, I wouldn't imagine that these wizards would be terribly powerful either.
I'd imagine like introduction freshman wizards.
Oh yeah, this is like yeah. This is like, Magic 101 in the airship. So then the Hook is this pilot is quarantined in the cabin of the airship college. He sees on the road some capable adventurers, and he nearly crash lands in front of them, and then from the window or something, he asks them to come on board to help save these leaping wizards. That's what I have so far.
After we're done with this, please also send me this, because, like, I seriously want to run this for some friends.
Hey, we could just, be like, do not look at this episode of Quest Jam and shit, we could run this on stream or something. That would be fun.
Oh, this is fun.
This does sound like a lot, but this did get very trouble with tribbles.
And like, I like the steampunk aspects to it. Like, it feels like an episode of Doctor Who, like a more lighthearted Doctor Who episode.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
To a steampunk ship, and then like on the thing is like these like adorable little things. They're being tortured, and the whole thing is like less about like everyone dying and more like, I hope you all learned your lesson.
It's like a weird adipose episode.
Right?
Yeah, like the adipose, those little blobs of fat that were so cute, and like they had so much merch for them, even though they were in like one episode for like 10 minutes.
Oh my god, great.
But yeah. No, I'm really liking this adventure too. And poor Tom's probably watching us like, what are they doing? Where they're ruining our brand, they're wearing robes, they're making the stupidest adventure possible.
You see, all I'm thinking is like, if to go back to watch like the previous Quest Jam with Nick and Tom, just the completely opposites of tone and style.
Yeah, and theirs was like funny too. Like they had some funny moments, but ours is just like straight up just nonsense.
It's fun. Like, sometimes you need a lighthearted adventure. Like, if you're doing Curse of Strahd like the entire time, sometimes you need to laugh a little bit after a whole lot of sadness.
Yeah, exactly. We've been doing Curse of Strahd for like over a year now, and it kills me. And it's not that we haven't been playing. We've been playing almost every week for a year. It's just we're taking a really long time with it. Okay, so plot. So once they get on the airship, what do they see?
I would say that they would they'd have like you get instantly punched in the face with how like doofy this is, and then quickly realize how bad it is. What I'm picturing is like they hop on the ship and maybe like they come into like the Great Hall. And the Great Hall is like filled with all of these wizards like skipping and like flinging forward. Everyone in wizard robes and whatnot, and like instantly the idea, like you're looking at this and like maybe there's like a Flumph or two just kind of floating about, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then like once you start talking, you're like, oh, these people are having problems.
And I imagine that these wizards would have basically like video game NPC dialogue, like "Please help me," like when you're walking through Skyrim in like a really like affected area from like a dragon attack or something. But it's like all they're talking about, and they're just kind of being sad. It's kind of what I imagine it would be here.
Yeah, I'm imagining about the same.
Yeah. Okay, so they get into the Great Hall. So how much has Raoul communicated to them, do you think? Like, is it just like they're like something's wrong, like everyone starts skipping, I locked myself in here to protect myself, please help me before I start skipping too and the plane crashes, the airship? I would imagine that they would basically have to like start looking. I don't know that Raoul being in the captain's chair so much would, or the pilot's chair would really know a whole lot.
The idea being, I think, would like, yeah, like he would like yell to him to please get on the ship, and then he'd get on to like the gramophone heading, being like, all right, people who got on, listen, here's the like situation, and he just quickly like spiels that like everyone on here has a leaping wizard syndrome, and I don't know why. I need you to round up the flumps and like find out what's going on.
Magical speakers.
Yeah, like something like that. Like not a lot like of exposition, but like I'm starting to now picture like a BioShock sort of setup too with this.
Yeah. This is kind of like BioShock. So Raoul doesn't really know much, but he gives them the lowdown. Where can they find information? I guess that they would probably have to find where the Flumphs were and start looking through notes and things.
That would be my opinion. Is like you maybe start searching through the ship. Like there's a couple of like um cabins, like dormitories, and like you find some notes about experimenting with tribbles, and then like they find the laboratory that has like a shit ton of tribbles in it.
Yeah.
Or not tribbles, flumps, excuse me.
I knew what you meant.
No, I'm just after I said that, I was like, oh, yeah, we're not doing tribbles, we're doing flumps.
So maybe like they see open cages and then the complete set of notes of like what they have been doing to the flumps.
Yeah. And so their task becomes not only to round up the flumps because they're the ones like sort of accidentally perpetuating the virus, but also to like defeat the virus after like they find like the archmage who wasn't jumping, and like it's like no, you know, like the final battle will be like after they round them up, like the archmage shows up and is like, you're ruining my plans, and then it finds out that they become sentient, like something akin to like the Vashta Narada in Doctor Who.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you have two shadows. So they have to gather up the flumps, quarantine the virus, and then the archmage comes in. So the archmage comes in and he's possessed.
Yeah.
It's like a weird like movie. I almost feel like we're typing like a pitch of a really, really weird movie.
Yeah, we're making like a late night sort of creature feature that's kind of also hilarious.
It's like a
So
really bad
let's get like a
movie. So test, the parasite virus is communicating through them.
what would be a good name?
Wants to
Sorry.
what?
I just asked what would be a good name for this professor.
Dumbledore. No, I gotta admit, I always go to fantasy name generator. I'm the wrong person to ask.
How about
Flumph.
how about Alistair? Um, Alistair. Let's go with a steampunky thing, like Van. How about Alistair
Moody. Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Professor Alistair Vanderbilt is their antagonist that they can't kill. They have to like, subdue the virus.
So Mallory is begging them to not kill the Archmage because he's doing important work, and he's an important guy, but instead to just subdue him and get the virus out. Maybe they have to end this by doing some healing of some sort. Like they gotta basically like remove curse. If it's done through bestow curse, they might have to start. I don't know. Maybe they would have to find a scroll or something.
Oh, that's a good one. Like if like they have like a magic user that has remove curse, then it's easy. But if they don't, they got to find a
yeah.
Maybe like there's a library in the airship, and like they actually like a part of it's going to have to be like finding it through like a sea of flumps.
Okay. And I would imagine too that in another scenario where they subdue the Archmage, they find the spell, but they can't use it because, they don't have a magic user or something like that, that there would be someone that they could, I don't know.
Like a magic user on board that could help out?
Yeah, maybe someone who isn't as infected with it, that they could, like, heal. Maybe, I mean, there would be a school nurse, I'm sure.
What if they found like a freshman sort of student that was like unsure of themselves but hadn't been infected yet? Or a nurse. We could do a nurse too.
Okay.
Oh.
I kind of like the student that's been hidden that hasn't found anything, because that kind of takes some of the pressure off of Raoul Mallory here to be feeding them all of the information. So I like too that they, like, the pilot, there's like one student who's kind of like the guy on the inside, and then the pilot.
Okay, so let's see. Name, like we don't have like a female sort of character yet, so what about a female halfling?
Ooh, a female halfling, so she can get real small and hide in small places. It's a good halfling name. Well, I'm looking at a Fury Road poster right now, so that's where my mind is. Furiosa. No.
Well, how about we go with what about Franny?
Franny?
Yeah, Franny. Like Franny Tea Kettle.
Franny Steam Kettle, like that.
Yeah.
Franny Steam. She's a young wizard, unsure of herself, but talented. Okay, so PCs have to search ships. They find the stuff on Flumph's. They find Franny, who begs for their help and gives them information about the college, what has happened, because she's a promising young intern. So they go to the lab and see the cages and stuff. The Archmage comes in, he's very possessed. Instead of Mallory, let's have Franny, because presumably they'll have a bit of a relationship with her by this point. So Franny's begging not to kill the Archmage because he's important and doing good work. And, okay. So instead of, probably we can, even if we want to have a Flumph overload in the library, we can probably put that earlier, and then at the end maybe Franny knows remove curse. How high of level is remove curse actually? How powerful is Franny?
It was 3rd, I do believe. Hold on, I actually wrote it down.
Or what about like restoration even?
Yeah, it's.
Well, I guess if it. Okay.
So let's open up here.
Yeah.
Well, okay, like I don't think she has to be particularly like high level to cast this. So maybe like she's low level, but like she tries hard and she fails, and like the second time she like does it.
Yeah.
So like let's flip through here. Back to the wizards. That's the warlocks. Come on, one more. Here we go. So just below, what if we put her at 3rd level, because it's not enough. Like that's just now getting 2nd spells, so like it's feasible that she could cast a 3rd level from a scroll and like have a really hard time with it.
Right. Okay, so we got 3rd level young wizard. Okay, so far the hook is we've got this pilot quarantined in the cabin. He almost crash lands, gets everyone on board. come into the Great Hall, they see that the wizards are skipping and there's roaming Flumphs, and they are not sure what's, going on, and the people skipping are unable to tell them. And so Raoul gives them like a brief through the magical speakers in the Great Hall that I imagine that they would have, but he doesn't know very much. So as they're searching the ship to find more information, they find in, cabins, dorms, libraries, whatever, notes on the Flumphs, and they also find Franny, who is going to be their friend, and she kind of fills them in on what's going on. So she leads them to the laboratory, and they see all the open cages, and with such a high concentration of Flumphs, Franny is going to warn them that they need to herd the Flumphs back into their cages, while also fighting this archmage who comes in and gets real upset with them and tries to mess up their day. And then Franny's like, no, we can't kill the archmage. We just have to knock him unconscious or something, so I can cast Restoration, remove curse, or a PC can do it, and they can cure the archmage, and everyone is happy. What happens if they kill the archmage?
I was thinking that whenever it comes to treasure, like if they kill the archmage, then the flavor text is like, well, like we tried, but it was just too much. Like we couldn't handle it. Like, it was just too much. Like it was too far gone, and they're like kind of sad, and they're like, well, it had to be done. So they get like a lesser treasure, like they get an okay treasure. But if they save the archmage, then the archmage gives them like a powerful magical artifact, or like a powerful magical item.
Okay.
So like, if they kill the archmage, they get an okay treasure, but if they save the archmage, they get a great treasure.
Okay. I like that. I feel like we've got a one-shot here.
Yeah, I got the stat. I statted out. I statted out our archmage. I'm in the process. I was finding like a couple of magical items we could use for a wizard that wouldn't break a game, like goggles of the night. Fun thing, just gives you dark vision, human, or boots of swiftness, so you can like run a lot, or even just a flame sword. But real quick, I will get some stats out here for
Franny.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should think about turning these into like a tiny kind of like PDF with like artwork, and hand them out to people who want to like read them.
Yeah, I think that Nick had talked about that briefly at one point. I know that Pernicious MC has tuned into our other episode that we did Quest Jam on as well, so we have at least one person who appreciates them, of which we are eternally grateful.
Yes, thank you.
And yeah, I mean, if people are interested, we could absolutely, put these out. You could get them on our website, projectderailed.com. We will force Nick to do some very nice art. I can clean up the text on this a little bit if needed. But yeah, if there's a demand for it, we could definitely look into that.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Like, I think that'd be like kind of fun.
Yeah, that'd be a good like resolution to this. Like, we make these little adventures, and then at the end, if you're a fan of the show, you can go and take them and run them for yourself instead of trying to have us try to like furiously scribble along as we're talking about nonsense for an hour or two. But yeah, we're just coming up on the hour mark. If we got that out pretty quick, we are much more efficient than Tom and Nick, I think.
Oh, I know Tom's listening.
But
yeah,
Tom. No, I'm just kidding. No, they had a box, and then they talked about, it was really cool. They talked about all the different monsters and stuff like that, and we didn't do that, or else we'd just be looking at like 10 Flumph minis, which would be fun in and of itself, but I don't think that they make blind boxes that are just like
get like
10 Flumph minis.
like like plushies and just start playing with them.
Oh, that would be so fun. I would get one of those. I would buy one of those.
Let's get a bunch of Flumph plushies. I can't even say that.
I actually, if you want to look at minis that you get in a blind box, it's not a D&D mini. I don't know how focused this is. I got this in a Harry Potter blind box, and at first I thought it had been mixed up with a Disney blind box, but if you look, this little rat here only has, he's missing a toe on his one foot, so it is in fact Scabbers. It's just like the cutest interpretation of Scabbers that there is, because Scabbers was like really old and gross and just the worst. But for some reason, this collectibles company made him super duper cute. I was very confused when I opened it, but I love it. It's a great thing.
Let's see here. Almost got everything statted out here. Not a perfect statting out, but like at least like strength, dexterity, spell layout.
Yeah. Well, while you're doing that, I will entertain. I haven't had my D&D box. You can see the few minis that I have, I guess. I have a Hill Giant Barbarian. This is gonna be like the most boring mini things ever. These actually all were from a blind box. I have a cougar, I think. Yeah, hunting cougar. It's pretty cool. I got these, I think, in 2006. I got them a long time ago. I think I had for Christmas that year. I did not play D&D yet, but someone assumed that I did and got me a blind box of minis that I held on to until about 10 years later when I did, in fact, start playing D&D. Well, not 10 years later, probably like 5 years later, but this is a Quaggoth slave. I don't know what a Quaggoth is because I'm a terrible D&D player. It would be pretty interesting to make an adventure just with these. Brass Samurai. This one's actually pretty cool. I've always wanted to make like a PC that has that many.
Okay, I got like at least these two statted out.
Okay, let's hear them.
All right. Let's see here. Let me pull this up. Okay. So for Mr. Archmage, I did not stat out Raoul Mallory because I feel like he'd be more of just a disembodied voice until like the very end.
Yeah. Raoul's like an idea.
Yeah, Raoul's just like he's like the narrator, the disembodied narrator. So for
Yeah.
I do believe I named him Alistair Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
I have a strength of 8, a dexterity of 10, a charisma of 10, a constitution of 14, and both intelligence and wisdom are 20.
Oh, man.
His HP is 44, and AC is 12.
Okay.
Ready for the spell layout? Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 4 cantrips, 4 first level spells, 3 second, 3 third, and then 1 fourth level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, once again with Alistair here, I decided as we both decided, he's going to be attack oriented. So I didn't give him so many of effect stuff because like maybe the thing is not so intelligent enough to like be like, ooh, I can banish someone to another fucking dimension. So for cantrips, I have Firebolt, True Strike, Acid
Mm-hmm.
Splash, and Chill Touch.
Okay. I like it.
Um, First level, I have Magic Missile, Ray of Sickness, Sleep, and Witch Bolt.
Okay. I like Witch Bolt. Witch Bolt's a great spell.
Yes, my robe. Sorry, I saw
Yeah.
that. Like, and also,
Yeah. Our
probably
friend
mention
Roger
Jones' robe.
complimented. Huh?
Is that Roger?
Yeah, that's Roger. Who is
Probably
on the show
robe.
sometimes. I got ears on my robe. It's a fox robe. The pockets are also foxes. I love this robe so much.
That is
I'm
adorable.
also wearing underneath this robe a shirt that Roger got me that I really, really love.
All right. Second level, I have Flaming Sphere, Hold Person, and Magic Weapon.
Okay.
And here comes the fun stuff. Third level, I have Fireball, Fly, and Bestow Curse.
That's when you're messing stuff up. I like
Yep,
it.
those are the fuck you spells of Fly and also give someone the Leaping Wizard's Curse. And then for fourth level, I have a defense spell of Wall of Fire.
Okay. Wall of fire. Oh man, that could even like block them in somewhere. That'd be
Exactly.
cool. Yeah.
Like you could block off another one while another one's leaping around.
Yeah. No, Roger, I look cute most. Not too most. I'm just kidding.
Right.
Okay, so what about our friend Franny Steam Kettle, who for those of us, or for those of you, not us, we've been here the whole time. For those of you just joining in, Franny Steam Kettle is our guy on the inside in this one-shot adventure that we just wrote about herding flumphs on an airship with a wizard college, with everyone being taken over by a leaping parasite.
Let's see here. So for strength, I have 8.
Okay.
For dexterity, I have also 8.
Okay.
Because I would like to think that she is small and kind of a little bumbly. Like, that like adorable, like doofus sort of level.
Yeah. Yeah. She's the wizard. She doesn't gotta be strong or dexterous.
Exactly.
Probably
Like
a
she's
little bit
the
dexterous,
adorable
but
one.
whatever.
Like
Yeah.
whenever you first run into her, like she's like carrying a bunch of books and then like trips over herself and you see books fly up as she falls off screen.
Yeah.
Um, Constitution is 14.
Okay.
Charisma is 16.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligence is 15. And
Okay.
wisdom is 18.
Okay, I like it.
Let's see here. HP is 20. AC is also 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then cantrip, she has 3, and I had message so that they can keep message with Raoul, so there could be like a two-way street if they don't have a magic user.
Mm-hmm.
Mending in case anything gets broken, and firebolt because she needs a little bit of offense.
Okay.
First level is charm person, mage armor, witch bolt, and sleep.
I dig it.
What I would like to think also with that, since she knows like sleep really well, is that she tried to use it on one of her compatriots, and she ended up like it ended up just still like they were still like leaping, they were just asleep, so they were flopping about.
Just
Uh,
this weird, like, just bumping into flumps, like flopping around. I like it.
Eventually, like, she realized she was like they were gonna like bump their way off the airship, so like they woke him back up.
Mm-hmm.
And then she has two for second level, and it is hold person and locate object in case they are having a hard time finding the scroll. Then she can use locate object.
Okay. I dig it.
I do too. I like. I was wondering where we'd go with this because all I had the idea was the Leaping Wizards part, and this is like already an
We came up with this fast.
right.
It's yeah, we've been streaming just about an hour now, and it seems like we have, the skeleton of an adventure. This is an adventure that, the DM obviously would have a lot of room to make up, personality and the different like we aren't drawing a map. I know that also took up a lot of time in Nick's, that he actually drew a map and we did not.
Yeah, I was about to say like I'm not exactly like artistically inclined enough to create a map. Like whenever I DM,
Yeah.
there's a map, it is like a very poorly drawn square.
That's why we keep Nick around.
Nick's our
We don't,
artist.
yeah, we don't actually like him. He just has useful skills. Okay, so since I think we're at the end. Would you agree with that statement, Tanner?
I think so. I'm really happy with what we have here, and I think that this was a great quest jam. Like, I want to do this again with you, Fiona.
Yeah, I know, me too. I was really worried. I'm like, I've never written I've never written a one-off adventure. I don't know how it's going to go, but I think that we came up with something pretty cool. Okay, so I'm just going to go through my notes and sum it up. So when we started out this quest jam session, our hooks from everyone, Tanner wanted to include some leaping wizards at a college. Tom, our producer, who's not on the stream, but who is making sure that we stay on the internet. Tom wanted to include an airship, and I wanted to include herding flumphs because that I googled funny D&D stuff and flumphs came up. So then we started getting through ideas like, magical college, wizards need something, they're leaping too much to do magic, there's some kind of connection with the Underdark, and about here is where we started, thinking about, the universities and airship. They were doing some kind of experiments which led to this, virus, parasite, whatever. And then we started developing our lovely NPCs, who we first came up with our pilot, who was named Raoul Mallory by Producer's MC in our Twitch chat. And he also named the adventure, which is Flumph, which is a reference to Skyfall. And so is the reference is Raoul Mallory to two characters in Skyfall as well. The Archmage is Professor Alistair Vanderbilt, who Tanner named, who is the 7th level wizard, who this parasite virus has taken over, and he wants to weaken but not kill the NPCs. He just wants to spread his parasitic whatever, maybe get Raoul and take this airship around and start infecting everyone, because that's what, that type of stuff does. Then we have our guy on the inside, Miss Franny Steamkettle, who's a 3rd level little halfling wizard who's unsure of herself, but she's a promising young intern. Many flumphs and many, NPC wizards who are mostly unable to do stuff. So our hook is that our yeah, our hook was that as our adventurers are traveling down the road or whatever, Mr. Mallory almost crash lands the ship in front of them. He's begging them for help, pulls them onto the ship, a very much like "come with me if you want to live" type of stuff. And then they get inside and they immediately enter the Great Hall, and it's filled with skipping wizards and roaming flumphs. Raoul's talking to them over a magical speaker. He doesn't know much, but he's saying, very recently, the wizards started leaping, all the Flumphs got out. I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna hunker down in here. And the PCs are searching the ships, cabin storms, whatever. They find notes on the Flumphs, which should give them some kind of idea that there was some experimentation going on the Flumphs. Probably for pretty noble purposes, like to maybe cure diseases or something. Who knows? And then they find Miss Franny, who asks for their help and who gives them information on the college and what has happened. And they get to the lab. They see where the Flumphs have come out, and they need to herd up these Flumphs back into their cages, while also fighting the Archmage, who flies in and is at this point possessed by this virus and very much wants to infect them as well. So they have to defeat but not kill the Archmage because he's important and doing important work. And so they weaken him but not kill him, and then Franny or a PC cast Restoration or Remove Curse to cure him. Everyone is happy, but if the PCs do kill the Archmage, the NPCs basically accept this, but the PCs end up getting less treasure. If they save him, the Archmage is so thankful that he grants them a powerful magical item. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm in
That's
love.
what we came up with. I know, this seems so fun. Oh man, I really like doing this. This is a lot of fun. I really like this segment that we do on SideTrack, our weekly show, which streams at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch, and then is uploaded later to YouTube. So yeah,
in this, we can pretty much call it a day.
Yeah, I think we can call it a day too. I don't think we have enough time to like poop out another room before we all want to get to bed for tomorrow, but I'm really digging this. This seems like it'd be a lot of fun. Like I can imagine doing this at a convention or something, just like, signing up for a session that says some fall and just being very intrigued by what exactly that means.
Next time we do like a D&D thing at Paladin Brewing, we could run
yeah, we could run this. Yeah. For the who live in Ohio, occasionally we do stuff with a really great brewery called Paladin Brewing, who has an amazing tap room that has, it looks like the inside of a medieval tavern, and we get, buy all their equipment and we start playing D&D, and it's a whole lot of fun. And we see live steel demonstrations from a local LARP group there as well. It's really neat. But yeah, and you can find all that brilliant stuff by following us on social media. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Twitch, obviously, we have YouTube, and I don't think we have an Instagram, but Nick and I both post on Instagram about Project Derailed stuff fairly regularly, so you can follow either one of us on there. I think our usernames are both just our names. Yeah, Tanner, do you want to call it a night? Yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
On a night. I guess from my end, also be sure to check out Critter Miss that I post on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's fun. This time I'm going to be doing the myth and reality of party composition.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
It should be a lot.
Yeah. Critter Miss is another one of our great shows. We have really good gaming content, I think. I think gaming content is some of our strongest content. But it's about 10 o'clock here. Very different from our last couple streams, which have gone on to like midnight, 3 o'clock, So we're going to call it an early night. I think everyone is happy for it. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Goodbye.